Hello, this is the second session in the Shibashi 2 series. So I assume that you have done some warm-up before doing this session as per the first class. So the warm-up can be found on the first session. So coming into standing like a tree, the feet are parallel, the knees soft. Imagine a football between your knees, the tail tucked under, top of the head moving towards the ceiling or sky, back of the neck open by tucking the chin, and the little space between the arms and the sides of the body. Again, all that can be found in the first session. And standing for a while, just finding your space here in this session. Tuning into the sensations of the body, the large sensations like the weight going down through the feet, and the subtler sensations, maybe such as the clothes touching the skin. And if you get an itch or something, have a go at just watching the sensation and seeing if it changes without actually addressing it as a practice. Taiji, Qigong, Shibashi 2, Movement 3, Wind that blows the willows. Take the weight down through the right foot and really focus on the weight going down through there. What that feels like in terms of bodily sensation, how that changes everything. Be like a scientist or an observer of yourself. The finer details. And step forward on the left. And when we step forward, we don't go too far and we don't go narrow. We stay wide so that we have still a strong base. And just for a moment, shift from foot to foot. And then come to send the weight down through the front foot. And as you do that, on the same side arm, take the arm back and the other arm comes forward like this. And then the other side. When you are back, your weight is on the back foot. When we're here, your weight is on the back foot, the opposite back foot. And when you are here, the weight is on the same side foot as your hand is out front. Let's add the breathing. Following the out breath as you go back. Here you're empty of air and here you're full of air. Following the out breath. Following the in breath. Feeling the shifting weight. And also focusing on, so just stop for a moment and I'll talk about this movement. So focusing on being really well rooted, so focusing on the weight shifting from foot to foot to get the mind into the feet and the roots. But also the top of the body, it's called wind blows the willows. So the body is receptive, like willow branches to a passing breeze. So there's a lightness to the body at the top. So the shoulders are loose. The movement can be smaller than I'm demonstrating, so it can be a very small movement, if that means that you're softer and more responsive. So we have a very solidly rooted lower body, but a very responsive and light upper body. That's my interpretation of this lovely poetic name that this movement's been given. Let's try on the other side. So send the weight down through the left foot now, and stepping forward on the right. Remembering that when you step forward, that's that same side arm that starts by going back. The breathing's not so important. Usually I breathe out, so this is empty of air and this is full of air, but as long as you're breathing with me, it's going to be in breath and out breath, however is comfortable for you. Focus on the tips of the fingers, bearing in mind what we said about the responsiveness of the arms. Make sure your knees are comfortable, by the way, and as usual, do nothing that puts you into discomfort or adapt, or do it sitting. And then bring both feet back and for a moment stand in standing like a tree. Here's the next movement. Once again, take the weight down through the right foot. This time, make the left foot what we would call empty or insubstantial. That means that you can lift it up and nothing else changes. So the weight is totally down through the right. And then not actually stepping forward, but just putting the foot forward and balancing just on the big toe. So the big toe is holding you there. And here's the hand gesture. So the index and the middle finger come together. So you have this sword type gesture of the hands. This is called searching for needle at seabed. Here's the movement. So the weight is solidly down here all the time. And so as you come down, you're going to come down towards the ankles, maybe watch first. And then you come up. And I usually bring the sword gesture to the eyes a little bit without touching. And then down the front of the body and to the ankle area, to the big toe, without actually touching anything, even the floor. And then up to the eyes and down again. So with this motion, it could be that this foot was off the floor. Let me demonstrate. So yeah, it could be actually like that. So you're really doing a whole standing squat on this side. Shibashi 2 is quite demanding. And so if that's not possible, just put the whole foot down and do this without, or sit down. But the full movement that you're working towards is a standing squat on this side, only keeping your balance because the big toe is down, as it were. So you should really be feeling this in the area at the front of the thigh. So here's the breathing. You take the in-breath as you come up, and you take the out-breath as you go down. Empty of air here, full of air here. Any discomfort, please adapt or sit down. Here's the image. So searching for needle at seabed. So imagine you're penetrating down through the depths of the seabed. bringing up nutrients, a particular kind of nutrients, and actually nourishing the eyes. Tracking the body down and down the inside and outside of the leg. So stay mindful, stay conscious of the breath, the movement, of probably the slight pressure or even a little bit of muscle pain in the other foot, in the other leg. And then you've done 6 of those and you change. Weight down through the left and then the right toe forward, so standing squat on the left now. And here we go, so heading towards the ankles and down a bit into the seabed, bringing up nutrients to the eyes and breathing out, penetrating into earth. So if you can see, there's a kind of an oval shape being drawn with the hands in front of you, which will remind you of the small circulation in the first session. And so in these coaching sessions, I'm not particularly mindful myself, I'm aware of, because I'm giving you information, so I'm a little bit heady. But when you're doing this, obviously all the things apply. The 3 adjustments as learnt in session 1, the mindfulness of movement and breathing, and the moving with the breath. Let's do the next movement. So this would be movement 5 of the 18, and it's called Fisherman Casts His Nets. Here's the movement. So we take one hand up to around the eye level and the other hand remains at lower belly level, and then as if you were throwing a net, so you're standing on the seabed and you're in beautiful water, nice temperature, maybe a little bit buoyant, and you're throwing a net out to one side. Imagine that the whole net is going further than your hands, and then you bring the catch in and then you go out to the other side. Okay, so it's kind of a figure of 8, so here you go. Throwing the net, throwing the net. It's a little like gazing at passing clouds for those of you who've done Shibashi 1. Breathing in as you throw the net, breathing out as you change sides, breathing in as you throw the net, and breathing out as you change sides. And so the poetic name, Fisherman Casts His Nets, and so we're reaching for chi that's beyond our physical limitations in this particular movement. So just as we were penetrating the seabed, we're going right the way to the horizon either side, or the extent of our energy field, to gather chi back for ourselves in a net. Fisherman throws the net or casts his net. I'm going to do one more movement and then I'm going to go through the first few movements from session 1 and 2 as a sequence. So this is called Fairy Points the Way, Fairy, F-A-I-R-Y. And once again, the hand gesture is like two swords. So starting off in standing like a tree, and here's the movement. Let me do the hand movement first. So the hand movement is one circle and a bit. So you're pointing that way, and then the foot comes behind you and goes down, so heel down. And then you come back through standing like a tree, you make a circle, and then you point the other way with the foot behind you and down. If it's comfortable, or you can stay on your, if you haven't got that flexibility today, then you can put your heel up, keep your heel up. Okay, so out breath, in breath, out breath. Now as you go through and have done this from day to day, you can get lower, okay? So let me demonstrate. So you stay low, so it's a real workout for the lower body. And let me say something about that. So it's fine to do this just standing and like this, upright, and that's absolutely fine. And what you can aim for is to be lower. So lower means that you're sitting on a bar stool like this and moving like a table football player, as if you had a pole through your hips. So on a bar stool, like a table football player, like so. And so if I add the movement, then let's just do the lower body. There's one horizontal plane here, yeah? And then you'll find that you'll go down, and when you go down, you stay down. So if you've chosen to go down here, then have a go at staying down there throughout. And it's tricky, I can't totally do it, but that's the focus, if you like, of Fairy Points the Way. Follow the breathing, yeah, so following the breathing as given, and the focus would be on the shifting weight, so that's fine to focus on that one thing, the shifting weight as you move, but obviously there's a beautiful poetic name there, and so once again Fairy points the way, so let your eyes follow the way you're pointing. Your intention is towards the horizon either side, once again encouraging spaciousness of thought, imagination, and then the body follows. So if your intention is out there, then your body actually, the spaces in your body get bigger, marginally, small. We're talking about millimeters or not, even less, but it means that the capillaries can work better, the lymph channels work better, and the nerves have more of a pathway to move through. So hence all the properties of health and well-being and comfort that Qigong offers. Okay, so as promised, I'm going to go through now the whole sequence so far. Okay, so first movement. Second movement. Third movement. You can go straight into the next movement. I'm just going to do 3 on each side for time, so this isn't too long a session. Sword hands. One closing movement. And remembering to drink water and have a little bit of a break before you do the next activity of your day. Thank you. Please do contact me through my website www.qigongcoach.net if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.